Christina, this end, please. Christina, straight ahead, please. Christina. Yeah, go on.
First off, I just wanted to say my apologies. I'm really under the weather today and I'm having kind of a rough time, so please bear with me if I cough my lungs out today. Okay, thank you. Do you want to be over there? You want to be over there?
Yeah, with my mic.
Yes, hi. Hi.
If you compare yourself 3 years ago to the person you are today, how would you say you're different now?
Like any 17-year-old through those years to be 21, I think I've learned first and foremost so much. I've been through a lot of things, a ton of ups and downs. You learn a lot about people, also being in the business that I'm in, faster I think than you would in any other way, backstabbing situations, you know, I don't know, really some tough times, and also that's kind of partly why it delayed the record a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but I think I've grown a lot, and through everything, all hard times even, it makes me that much stronger, so, and that's really reflected in the record too. Actually, Dirty is almost a misrepresentation of the rest of the album because there's nothing really like Dirty on the record. It's probably the most, just to clear that up, the most probably hard-driven song as beat-wise or whatever, and also lyrically, the rest of it is pretty uplifting. It's an extremely personal album, and a positive overall, I think, feeling to it. Just to let you know. Yes. Hi.
How does it feel being back here in London to launch this new album?
It feels amazing. I'm not much of a studio lover. I get really bored with it really fast. I love live performing, and I love being on stage and feeling the energy of an audience and all that, and especially this time around, having, I think, a better team of people around me to support me and guide me along the way, and also being a little wiser, and me really doing my own record this time. I'm so happy to promote it and and to be back out here and doing it again. London especially, I love coming to London, and I love coming to Europe, period. So I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Christina, yeah.
Yes.
I listened for 5 songs in the album.
Oh, you did?
And apart Dirty, the other songs are really, really different.
Very
Especially
different,
the
yeah.
one with Alicia Keys.
Yes.
And also the one with the producer of Pink, because the song reminds me a lot of Pink.
Linda Perry?
May I ask you, just, I mean, Dirty is not...
Sorry.
is not the real manifesto of this album, because Trip seems to be filled with different kind of songs, more
Yes.
intimate, for example.
Absolutely.
Many songs are about the sadness, maybe the hard times that you pass by. Can you just explain this?
Yeah, it is an extremely personal album, having been that I either wrote, co-wrote, I produced, I'm executive producer of this record, and I'm so proud of it. It's like my baby, just because I didn't have any apprehensions or any hesitations of really just being out there with my past and what I've gone through. Especially, I'm not sure if you heard the song "I'm Okay" about my father. That's an extremely personal song where I'm literally crying on the record. So it was almost like therapy in a way to record this record, because it was really personal, and it was hard to record at times, literally. But I'm really, really proud of it. And Dirty is also like, that's just more of I definitely had a vision of what I wanted to come out with, and I wanted to come out with a harder beat, something more explosive. And I listened to a lot of hip hop, and I just felt that most comfortable coming out with one of those kind of beats. I went to Rockwilder for that particular beat because he had done a song with Redman called "Let's Get Dirty" that I loved so much that he kind of did a beat for me similar. I said I wanted something similar, and then I slept on that track for a while on this one, Dirty, because I thought it might be too similar. But then I almost played up to the similarities, got him to appear on it and call it Dirty, and played up to that whole fact. But it's just about being 21, and if you go to any club, you're gonna see, any 20-year-old. That song just reflects me being 21, having fun, experiencing life, and doing, just being 21 and not getting to have lived that, having been working so much and whatnot. So that was also a little bit of the break that I just wanted to disappear for a little bit and take my time with the record and record that. But yes, the album is very different. But I think overall it has a really positive outlook, just because it talks about a lot of the hard times that I've gone through, but in the end it's almost like a positive way. Like the song Fighter, and that wasn't, I would imagine on the sample CD you didn't hear that song, but it's a song where I thank almost the people that have hurt me in my life, because it has made me that much stronger. It's taught me to learn a little bit faster, be a little bit wiser, and in the end, it's taught me to be a fighter and get through anything. So, I mean, that's the overall outlook, and it's just a very personal record, and it's crazy because it's really me this time. So, but I'm excited about it.
This is Belinda Janssen, Veronica Magazine Holland. What is to you the biggest misconception about being famous?
The biggest misconception is, well, I guess you hear a lot of things before you get, to be successful, if you're lucky enough that it happens, about, lack of privacy, and of course, I don't know, just how crazy it can be, and how many fake people there are. But until you've really been through it and lived it, it's such a crazy game. I just really learned most of all. I got into this business because I love to sing, and I'm a lover of performing and music. I live for it. I live for music, and it was almost disappointing in a way that seeing everything firsthand, it almost took away a little bit from. I realized the music almost comes last sometimes, and that's really sad to me. And hopefully that'll help change that and whatnot. But I would love to see more real singers and whatnot out there, and just more true talent than put together. It's easy to call yourself an artist, but to really be one, I think that says something else. But there's a lot of misconceptions. But I'm just trying to do my thing and keep away from any negativity and whatnot. A lot of it's really mean-spirited too. I think a lot of times, the press can be, and that's kind of sad. But all that aside, you just try to ignore any rumors or anything that's untrue and keep on going with what you're doing.
Christina, you mentioned the negative press attention. You've
Yes.
had a lot of flack for the way you dress and the way you look. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think whenever anyone's criticized for anything, I think that must hurt anyone. You know, I'm only human. But, you know, I'm very comfortable with what I wear, and I love being different. I would feel extremely uncomfortable being conservative and always covered up, especially for being young. You know, you go to any school or any place, and, you know, kids aren't, you know, all covered up all the time. And I'm not going to dress like this forever. And I like to be edgy. I like to be different. I hate, you know, people that, you know, almost conform to what, you know, society or you know, the majority of people want. You know, I'm a little bit of a rebel like that, I guess you could say. But, you know, I'm very comfortable with what I wear. And you just have to ignore that stuff. Because I think a lot of it also is, I don't know, I feel like some of it, it's a lot of playing favorites sometimes also, you know, no matter what they wear. Because, I don't know, I just would feel very uncomfortable. I mean, you look at a lot of those best dressed sections, because I've looked at it all. It's like the whole first 3 pages are all ball gowns, you know, and it's like, I'm not always going to show up at an event in a ball gown, but, you know, so that's kind of crazy. But I'm cool with what I'm doing, and, you know, just looking at one of my favorites, Madonna had to go through it all her life, so I'm like, okay, she did it, I'm going to do it too. So.
CNN, will it be a Spanish language for this album? And also, could you say 2 words of like what the album means to you in Spanish for our Spanish viewers, please?
This record actually has a little bit of Spanish on it. One of the songs, it's actually more of an interlude, but it's a long interlude called Primer Amor. It's about my first love, and it goes into a song called Infatuation, where my first love was actually a Puerto Rican, and it talks about how he was a full-blood Boricua, and you know, it just has very, you know, it's a very personal song as well, but it's got some salsa in it. I love Latin music, obviously. There will be a follow-up Latin album, but I do not want to translate every single song from this record into a different one. I definitely want to explore more deeply, you know, Latin music and whatnot, and not just translate like I did on the last record, Genie in a Bottle, into Genio Atrapado, and, you know, all those kinds of things. So, but I'm very, very excited. And still, you know, trying to buckle down as crazy with the schedule to get my Spanish perfected. And until that moment, you know, just hear me on the records where I practice. So, but it is coming together. But I'm very, very excited, and that's definitely half of me. So it's very important to me to continue on with that.
Hi, Christina. The
Yes.
new single's fantastic. It's very strong. But
Thank
then
you.
when you put the visual with it, it takes it to a different dimension altogether. Could you tell me a bit about how you decided on the look for the video, and, you know, how you feel about maybe people misinterpreting that as you?
You know, I mean, Gina in a Bottle got misinterpretations. You know, no matter what you say, no matter what you do, people are always going to misinterpret things. But I mean, I'm not afraid to say that, you know, Dirty, I'll come right out and not try to hide anything. And it is a pretty sexual video, sexual pieces in it, parts. But it's very strong, and I didn't want to be so girly and feminine and, you know, whatever in it, because that's just not really me anyway. I have to have some kind of raw energy or edge to it, and that's where the boxing kind of came in. Our whole idea of working with David LaChapelle, who I'm a huge fan of his photography, this is my first opportunity to work with him. I was really excited. He had some crazy ideas and combined it with my vision. I didn't want him to make it too glossy or pretty either. I wanted it to be kind of gritty, a little dirty. I mean, you know, go along with the song. We were filthy by the time, I mean, we dirtied up our clothes and everything. We kind of rented out kind of a basement. We wanted it to have like almost this underground, not really club, but club-esque kind of like just party where everybody can just come together and just have a good time and just be crazy, you know. You know, we had shots of, you know, Redman was walking through a hall where there's mud wrestlers and crazy, you know, weird dimensional bodybuilders, and, you know, what else was there? Plushies, crazy things, you know. That's you know, definitely a David LaChapelle idea, that one. But you know, we wanted in the boxing. I've been boxing for a little while now. Haven't been on it as much, but it was so much fun to box in the video. It was my first time really trying to go at it for real, not really following through with my punches, but, you know, but it was fun to do that, and you know, not be so prissy girly kind of thing. It's just not my thing anyway. So, you know, a little bit of of both. I think sexy tough is a good combination for a female.
Hello, Christina. Hi, over here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Okay.
Hi,
I can see
just
you.
asking you about the video, and you mentioned the way you dress. Could I ask you what inspired the cowboy trousers? And,
the cowboy trousers?
and do you think it's all
The chaps.
a set of fashion?
I don't know what I mean. Trends start all the time. I mean, I think it's a pretty dope idea that actually came from my stylist Trish Somerville. I love the chaps, and it was really fun to kind of reinvent kind of a new way to wear pants, you know, with just some little almost briefs underneath. I mean that's a fun outfit, and that was definitely her idea, and I definitely went along with that. Something that I want to continue different styles and versions of for that particular song on my tour eventually as well too. It's a fun thing, you know, but yeah, who knows? I mean, what could happen with that? So.
Christina, ITV News over here. Who are over here? This
Yeah,
one.
I can hear you.
Now you're in England, you're in London. Just a quick opinion, really, on what you think of our pop idols, Will Young and Gareth Gates.
Who? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
There are pop idols, Will Young and Gareth Gates. They're voted by the British public, like you had your American Idol. It was our version.
Right,
of theirs.
right.
What do you think of them?
I didn't catch your episodes, I'm sorry to say. I'm really bad at watching TV. I'm not kind of a TV person anyway. So I'm not even sure about our American Idol version, to be honest with you, because I never really caught a full episode. But I think it's great. I mean, I was on Star Search. You know, I did the whole, you know, talent kind of, you know, thing where you get a chance to kind of get your talent shown on national television. I think that's great. You know, I say it takes a lot of guts to get up there and do your thing like that. And, you know, and those... I mean, I was on Star Search, but I didn't have judges nearly as openly critical as I guess some of those comments can be from them. But I gotta give it to them. I think it's great what they're doing. I'm not sure specifically about the artists. I don't follow that very well. Sorry, but I think it's great.
Hi, Christina. Congratulations on the video. It's great.
Thank you, man.
You've obviously changed your image quite a lot from when you were around 3 years ago. Are you a bit worried that you may alienate some of your younger fans who've been with you since the beginning?
I think, I mean, even in making this record, which is definitely more mature, it's not really some of the, you know, songs and everything aren't quite as, it's a whole different thing. But if anything, I mean, that just reflects on how I've grown. You know, and you know, I was 17 at the time, so green and fresh and new to coming out with, you know, this whole, you know, coming into this whole world, and you know, you kind of under the thumb of the label and whatnot to do and what they want you to, and it's been really nice. I named the record Strip just for that very reason. I was able to just, you know, I got to a point where I just couldn't do it anymore. I'm not great at, you know, faking my way through trying to live up to a, you know, perfect, you know, kind of virginal American sweetheart kind of thing. So I just have to be me, and whatever that is, if it, you know, disagrees with people's opinions or whatever, you know. So I just have to do my thing, and that's why I just got to a point where I couldn't do it anymore, and I just stripped every layer of all that kind of like overly popped out stuff down to just the bare me, and that's why I really called it Strip. No matter how many people are going to think that's a sexual connotation or whatnot, especially coming off the Dirty, which, you know, is a misrepresentation of the record. But it's cool. I'm excited, you know, and it is a change, but it's like, who doesn't grow between ages of such and such? And I think some of my younger fans are older now, and music has even changed since then. And I mean, you know, a lot of songs out there like. I don't know, you take Nelly, Hot in Here, like that's a huge hit, and it's like, I don't think, I mean, you can't please everyone at the same time, and if I would be disappointing other fans who would be disappointed if I stuck with the same thing and didn't move on. So.
Hi, Christina.
Yes.
I've got a couple of questions for you.
Yeah.
Could you clarify the rumors about you and Justin Timberlake? Are you going out?
Oh, I can so clarify that we're definitely not going out. Definitely not. What? Any more? Oh, no. no. I mean, never was. Never was. No, it's not my thing. And you know, we see each other occasionally, but definitely nothing there.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
Did you ever get an offer from Playboy magazine? And if you did, would you ever appear in Playboy?
Oh yeah, and that's another rumor that I guess I have to squash as well. No offers from Playboy. We haven't even talked to them, and not at this point. At least in my, I don't think. I mean, I don't think so. I mean, I definitely want to be respected for my voice, and as I get older, I want to take it even, you know, more seriously and whatnot, and I won't always be dressing like this. While I'm 21, you know, I play with it a little bit. I have fun, and I'm an entertainer. I mean, that's what I do. But yeah, you know.
Hello. I think a sample of Eminem opens your album. Can you tell us about this? Are you cleaning out your closet or something?
Cleaning out my closet, yeah. What I'm doing in the beginning of the album when it opens, I just feel like a lot of these or certain songs and whatnot, even you know, responses to, you know, how the press has made rumors and whatnot, how people will make up rumors. There's been artists, of course, that have taken offense to certain things that I've said and bashed me in their songs or whatnot. you know who. But I wanted to kind of set the record up with that intro of just a lot of press. I mean, Fred Durst is in there, Eminem's voice is in there, you know, and you have to get clearance. I was definitely on the phone with them. I mean, we're cool. I mean, they were definitely cool with everything. You know, it wasn't anything negative. Nothing in my album is negative, first of all, to anyone, because there's a song that I have on my album called Can't Hold Us Down that certain magazines and whatnot already have kind of misinterpreted for sort of an Eminem kind of bashing thing, and I just want to make clear that that's not the case at all. That's almost a female empowering song, and you know how people will just blow things up. But I just wanted to kind of have a whole mishmash of you know, press and things and people that have spoken out about me, the whole Britney-Christina rivalry thing, just blam, just putting it out there like first thing. And then I think the very end of the whole mishmash of all those things says, now let's hear Christina's side of the story. I just taken a bunch of different sound bites from all over the place and put them together in one track. And then here comes Stripped Part 1 and Stripped Part 2 are kind of my responses to a lot of the things. When you hear Stripped Part 2, it's kind of, you know, pretty out there in what I am and what I'm not, and responding to a lot of that stuff. So Stripped Part 1 and Part 2, the interludes, are kind of my responses to the opening sort of jumble of, you know, press stuff. Oh, possibly. We're always open for possibilities. You know, I've been, you know, to kick it off for the whole, you know, making of my record, you know, I started out with a damn, you know, my first love and everything. It was a breakup for me, and it was really hard for me. Moving on to kind of a tough few other people that kind of backstabbed me. So, you know, I was kind of like, I kind of went through a little breakdown where I had to kind of like, I really put up some walls and guards around myself. It was a really hard time for me. But, you know, I think I'm good right now. I'm single, you know. I've learned to kind of like chill with all that right now. I'm kind of like trying to do my thing, be focused on my career. And I just want a sweet boy. I just want a sweet boy. I'm sorry? Single but always looking. Always open.
Christina, Justin's actually in town at the moment as well. Are you going to get a chance to meet up as friends?
Who is?
Justin Timberlake.
We always end up kind of hanging out at the same clubs or bars or whatever, so I'm sure I'll see him around.
Hi, Christina. After making your video, whose opinion did you want to hear first?
I'm sorry, what?
After you made your video, yeah. Whose opinion did you want to hear first about it?
Whose opinion?
Yeah.
I think the only opinions the first opinion is my own, and the second, I just wanted to make sure my mom was cool with a lot of even magazine shoots that I've been doing lately. I just shot Maxim and, you know, Rolling Stone and whatnot, and there's some covers that I'm kind of playing around with a little bit. And, you know, the first person I want to make sure is proud of me is my mother, and she is just so freaking great. She stands behind me for everything, and I couldn't thank her enough for that. And only the people that I know are gonna, give me honest answers, or at least, not trying to be too negative, because people that are just trying to obviously just be negative for no reason, I have nothing to do with it. I just don't, I want to hear it. But the opinion that matters most is making sure that I'm happy, and making sure, that is cool with my support group is behind me.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we've got time for one more question, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Christina,
Hello.
MTV News Europe. I'm
Yes.
just wondering, are you looking forward to playing in front of estimated 1 billion viewers at this year's Europe Music Awards in Barcelona?
You don't even know. I'm so thrilled. I can't wait. I can't wait to get better first, and then I can't wait to perform. It should be a blast. It should be a blast to get back out there and and do it all over again. I'm really, really excited. So and this time, it's all me. So I'm really, really excited about it. Really excited.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thank you
very
so much,
ladies and
everybody.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Christina Aguilera.